The views and opinions expressed on this program are solely those of the host and guest and do not reflect the opinions or policies of the station, its owners, or its advertisers. All content should be considered editorial in nature. Listener discretion is advised.
Recorded live, Cumberland County's smartest hour of talk radio. Welcome back to another edition of the Carolina Cabinet.
Well, everyone, good evening. Welcome to the Carolina Cabinet. I'm Peter Pappas, your host tonight. The Carolina Cabinet is a voice for conservatives in Fayetteville, Cumberland County, and beyond, bringing you straight talk, strong opinions, and real conversations about the issues shaping our communities, our state, and our country. As we know, this is the smartest hour of radio. Now we are streaming wherever you get your podcasts. So today, joining us in the Cabinet is lovely Mrs. Laura Mussler.
Hello, hello.
My dependable co-host, as always. And the loveliest Olivia Cook. Welcome.
It's an honor to be here.
And you are the director of People for People?
I am one of the leaders. I'm the director of marketing.
Okay.
I'm the executive director of marketing, as well as a leader over the Southeast region. So I have two positions with that, and I manage a restaurant. And I've got two little boys.
A woman of many talents. So, because I don't think anybody in this day and age can get by with just one job, whether they pay or not. You've got more than one job.
I think I'm just more purpose-driven.
Okay.
Rather than, even, because if it was for the money at this point, we're building something.
Yeah.
Not me. Show me the money.
It's okay to admit we're money grubber capitalists here. It's okay. So, look, let's get into it. This week's GOP talking points. They're all about one thing: Trump's making America affordable again. But before we get into that, what have you been up to the last week or so?
I have been sick as a dog, and I finally have the last of it.
And I don't think you were contagious, but whatever you had, now I have.
Yes, you sure do.
Because we share the office now. Thanks a lot, office mate.
Yep, I sneeze on all your stuff when you're
probably
gone. I'm going to get it.
See, I won't put that past you sometimes. I don't
you.
believe you, but then sometimes I'm like, yeah,
appreciate
she's
it.
probably crafty enough to do that.
I wouldn't do it.
But yeah, I've been out sick, but also meetings and stuff
My
like that.
birthday?
Your birthday that I did wish you a happy birthday
Yes,
on the
you
day
did.
of.
You did, because I
did.
called you to check on you to make sure you were alive, because I
Right.
spent the entire day by myself alone in the
In
office.
the office. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's just horrible.
I bought my own birthday cake, and it's still in the refrigerator. We haven't had it yet. Isn't that sad? It's how sad. I'm like,
you hear the passive,
it's okay.
I did see a new commercial this weekend, the Passive Progressive. Have you seen those yet?
No.
The new insurance commercials from Progressive. They're pretty funny. Okay. So I did see something that I thought was funny. The Japanese prime minister was visiting President Trump, and a reporter asked him, why didn't you tell your allies about, going
That
into
was funny.
Iran? And he says, well, who knows better than the Japanese for surprises?
He can be funny. He can also be disgusting.
And what did he do to counter the funny?
Yeah, then he said when Mueller died that he's glad he's dead. What a disgusting thing to say about anybody.
Anybody that's dead.
Yes.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Why?
I mean, I understand his point of view. It's not excusable, though.
No, it's not.
Yes.
Even my own worst enemy, I wouldn't be happy he's dead. I mean,
I wouldn't care one way or
there's
another.
a saying, I want to dance on your grave,
Yeah.
That's okay, but I don't wish you dead.
Privately, you can say anything you want, but how disgusting of our leader, and how can you say that you want to make the country great again and speak about one of your
Well, he was a former
people.
FBI director.
I understand that, but he's still an American citizen.
Absolutely.
And you don't speak about other American citizens that way. I think it's disgusling. But I love Trump anyway.
Well, we're not going to argue that.
I'm not having him over to dinner, but I love all of his policies.
So, all right. Well, let's look at these talking points. We're going to run through them because I want to spend time with our guest here. But so Trump is lowering costs. Inflation is down. So what do you think, Laura? Are we? Is that the truth or not?
Well, yeah, that's
inflation's
true.
down.
Yeah, that's
but
correct.
it doesn't mean things are getting cheaper, right?
Well, things don't get cheaper. That's not what happens with inflation. What happens is it does, because you're talking about economics and you're talking about reality. Inflation goes down. It's not rising at the same rate that it was. It was going up 6-8%, and now it's at like 2 point something percent. So nothing is going to get cheaper. The idea is that the cost of things rise at a lower rate than incomes. So that's all.
So things are getting more expensive slowly.
There,
more
which is
slowly
good.
than it
Yes,
was
that's
in
correct.
administration. Okay.
Which, I mean, that's life.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, you used to take 20 cents to the bank, to the store, and you could buy groceries for the month. Now, not so much.
I don't know, Olivia, your food costs gone up over at the restaurant?
Yes.
Incoming costs?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
How sensitive are the see, you're in a real restaurant business. I just run like local family stuff.
You
That's
have a
not my
real
business,
restaurant
but,
business, too.
how do they are they that sensitive that they'll like get a 50 cents more for some item and then they'll change their menu price, or will they absorb it for a few months?
Oh,
before
no,
they
they definitely absorb it for a few months.
Yeah.
But Bahama Breeze is actually, they're dissolving the brand. Here in
Is that when you're
Fayetteville.
really out of a job?
No.
Okay.
I work for a phenomenal company. And
Darden Restaurant Group.
yeah, a phenomenal company. So what they're doing is they're transitioning Bahama Breeze in this location to Chewy's. And
Sounds like a place for dogs.
I know, but because of that brand that sells stuff through
Right.
Yeah, I like
But-
that stuff. Yeah.
but it's
Before my dog died, after 15 years, that's where I got my dog food.
oh, okay. So yeah, but it's a Tex-Mex place, and I know we already have enough of those here. However, I love the fact that we're going to be able to give phenomenal service at a lower cost while everything else is expensive. It's so expensive for people to go out to eat nowadays. It's $32 right now. No, our price per guest ranges from $32 to $38 per person. And my background, I used to work at Morton's, the steakhouse in downtown St. Louis, so our price point was a lot higher then as well. It's about $112
yeah, but
per guest.
there's a market quality difference.
Oh,
Well, a different quality and service expectation of
Right.
Morton's versus, no offense, with Bahama Breeze. I mean,
oh,
there's-
of course. But, like, and when I saw that, and I worked there for 4 years, and then I moved here, my husband's Air Force, but just being able to service the people here at a lower cost is going to be something that's nice, because most people are just taking from
Lower
people.
cost than Bahama Breeze?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Because Chewy's price point is
Yeah.
significantly lower, but I do believe we're going to have a great volume. The management team here opened that store. We did $1 million consecutively for the first 3 months. Fayetteville's a phenomenal market, and I love
It always
Fayetteville.
is when you first open.
And but we've also maintained some very good market share. So if our restaurant were to stand alone and not be corporate, we would still be really good. It's unfortunate that we're a part of a corporate company, and it is what it is. It doesn't matter how good you do. If your brand itself is not doing phenomenal, then it is what it is. So
I would eat at Bahama Breeze. I will not eat at Chewy's.
Are you a snob?
No,
You don't like
I
cheaper
don't.
food?
What do I? Oh my God, it's too spicy. What's the word that comes out? Spicy. I don't eat spicy.
That's true. She doesn't.
I don't like spicy food either, but I think that there's some other options. And I mean, the thing is, everybody tries something at least once.
No,
You know,
I don't.
but
No,
Yeah.
no, thank you.
No, I'm past the point where I need to try spicy food. I don't need to prove my manhood by eating the spicy, so I'm like, I'm good.
And everybody that I know that eats spicy food is like,
Well,
oh my
why
God,
do they think it's spicy all of a sudden? Just
heartburn.
because it's Tex-Mex?
yeah,
Is that-
it's not necessarily that spicy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, there's only so many ways you can do. If I'm going to go do Mexican food, I'm going to El Cazador.
Well, you want real Mexicans.
Not real Mexicans. I want real Mexican food.
Okay. So I did depend on Mikasita's chicken soup this last weekend. Have you had that?
I don't eat soup.
Damn it! Yeah, I know. She's a strange one.
I'm very strange.
Yes.
I don't do caffeine. I don't do alcohol. I don't curse. Oh,
I know.
such a
It's
nerd.
weird that
No
we
spicy
get
food.
along to do the show. I don't understand how that works. So, Olivia, that's
You're
a
the
very,
bad angel. I'm the good angel.
to say the least. Okay. So, Olivia, that's a very realistic, price points, and I kind of thought Bahama Breeze was a little bit higher end for Fayetteville.
Yes, certainly is.
Although I'm going to be like these people in the Facebook groups about Trader Joe's, I kind of wanted a chart house. Just saying.
Yard house.
Yeah, yard house.
I would have loved a yard house.
Yes.
That would have been
'Cause we
phenomenal.
have one
But
in
you know
Raleigh,
what?
right? There's one
Yes,
nearby.
there's two Chewy's in one's in Raleigh, one's in Cary. It's one of the fastest growing brands in Darden right now. But and I think that I trust that their judgment, that they know the numbers. I think it
sure.
brings more to the bottom line, honestly. But I mean, I would have loved a Yard House, but I'm going to just trust their judgment because it's a Yard House is similar price point to Bahama Breeze. And like I said, I mean, I'm going to be
Yard House to me when I went there. It didn't feel like a chain because there was more unique stuff on the menu. But anyway, maybe one of these days Fayetteville's going to grow up and we'll get there.
No,
hopefully.
it's not.
Yes, we will.
No, we won't.
So, next claim is that housing is improving, rent is down, and mortgages are just better.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, rent's down from a record high, but it's still way above what it was in 2020.
Well,
I mean,
again, prices are not going to just magically go down.
Right.
But I mean, the Trump policy is saying that corporations can no longer buy houses. That has helped, and interest rates are down.
But it's not a factor of. So I think who the president is determines the confidence people have in the stock market and other things like that. But
Right.
I think the rents remaining high is because we had such expensive and such big changes with construction material. People weren't able to put enough units in the pipeline, so to speak. So I think until we start kind of building more, that those prices are going to stay high.
You know, I see that as you're saying that. I see us building everywhere, and especially like apartment buildings and things like that. You know what I watched last night? The Matrix.
Okay.
And they brought up a comment that I just agree with wholeheartedly about we as human beings are like a virus. We just spread and more of us come and we just kill everything underneath us. So my mom lived out in the country, lives out in the country now, but she had, all these animals and stuff like that, fox, whatever. Well, they destroyed all the woods around her house, and now there's a small patch of woods and all the animals are coming up to the house. We just devour everything, and it's just, I think we're building lots of houses.
Well, we are, and so I actually did have a meeting at the Board of Realtors last week for the RPAC, Realtors Political Action Committee, and Councilman Hondros was there. Now, he and we both ran for council the first time he ran as when I ran. And when we ran, that was 2021, he mentioned the number that we were given by the realtors was in Cumberland County, we are down 20,000 housing units. So last week, we were having the discussion, well, where are we now? We're 20,000 behind. So I'm beginning to wonder if those numbers are real.
They're not real.
Well, just because it changed.
When you say 20,000 behind who? Who?
Well, out from the demand. So what I'm told is that we have like a 6-month supply worth of houses at the current rate that we're selling houses. So
why is that bad?
I think we're more in a stable market right now.
That's what I would say.
But again, my concern is that in 2021, it was 20,000 units short.
They're just making something up.
And now in 2026, it's 20,000 units short.
They're just making numbers up.
Okay.
Let me ask you, okay, so you're a realtor. Are you getting 3, 4, 5 offers on one property?
No.
Okay. So then how can you say, because if we were 20,000 houses short, then everybody would want the houses that are for sale. Houses are sitting on the market for 2-3 months.
Well, housing units, and I think not everybody's in a position to buy, so they're considering multifamily apartments, stuff like that too.
Okay.
That's the only thing I can say right now with some kind of authority. I'd have to research the rest of that.
Well, anybody that's renting is throwing their money away.
That they're considering rental house because this is a big rental market. Anyway.
It is because we have a very transient community.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so what do we got next? The economy, it's booming.
Yeah, buddy.
Right?
Stock market.
The Dow's above 50,000, 401ks are booming. Trump RX, lowering drug prices.
Yeah, that was pretty
impressive. We talked about
impressive.
that a couple of weeks ago.
We actually compared the prices, and they are way down. Especially because we looked at Good RX. That was supposedly like the big deal. But it's like even half the price of Good RX.
Yeah, but just because my 401k is doing well, that doesn't mean that the guy coming in to order a steak and cheese is doing better at the kitchen table. I think people disconnect that. Well, the Dow's doing great. Yeah, okay, but for the regular guy working, I don't think he feels
Does he have a 401k? Because if he does, when he retires, then that's better for him. We certainly don't want the Dow down.
Okay.
Do we?
I don't know. Look, the record Dow doesn't help me at the grocery store.
No, but lower interest rates, lower inflation does. I mean, it's not an immediate. We're talking about long term. We don't want immediate dropping of prices. That's not good for the economy.
No, that would be horrible.
That would be absolutely horrible.
Which is weird. It went up really high, and that was okay. But
it wasn't okay. It wasn't okay. A lot of people. I mean, credit card debt is at an all-time high.
Okay.
I mean,
yeah, it is. That is.
People were living. Yeah, people were living off their credit cards because everything went up so much, and their price and their costs of their income didn't keep up with that. That's why it's a bad thing.
So let's talk about Homeland Security. Because now the line from our party is the Democrats are siding with terrorists.
Whatever.
Is that even fair to say?
A little bit. When you have these liberal women in the street saying, leave Iran alone, and then you have the Iranian women in the street saying, thank you, thank you, thank you. There's a little bit of a disconnect. How about you? Yeah.
We're not checking the source material on that one.
Yeah. No kings rally, and then no dictators or whatever it was.
No, it's no oligarchs.
Oh, oligarchs.
And then you have the Schumers and Pelosi's, and even on our party too, we have these people that have been entrenched forever.
Like Rand Paul, that disgusting pig.
Why is he? Why? So you go straight to like the jugular? What
he
did he do to you?
Well, first of all, he like other people that I know.
Why are you looking at me?
Because I'm having a conversation with you.
Okay, all right. You just kind of
are so busy fighting the Republicans as opposed to looking out for the best interests of America. They're too busy fighting Americans. Now, I will say Rand Paul is good fiscally because he does his whole, what is that, Festivus thing that he does when he does it, whatever. But I mean, like Mullins, because they brought their, so I'm a nerd, 100% nerd. And I sat and watched all of the, what are they called? The hearings and the
on C-SPAN.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love C-SPAN. Oh my God. I could like live in the Senate hall. I would just like snuggle up underneath there and go to sleep. But anyway, I watched them and they're having an argument about Rand Paul being attacked, I guess, personally. I don't care about your personal feelings. I don't care if you like me. I don't care if you guys like each other. Will Mullins do a good job? Is he what we need for the DHS? That's it. That's all you need to worry about. No, you said that it was good that I got
so in the middle of all this, we have Homeland Security as being essentially they're working without pay. I think there was an announcement by the administration that they're going to start sending ICE agents to kind of fill the gap. Well, that should make some of the super crazy towns maybe calm down because take ICE off the street.
Okay, then they'll be because they don't live in a reality. I would say that they'll start. I'm not flying anymore because you have ICE agents at the who knows, whatever.
Jesus. There's always like another permutation that's worse.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
You know, you have the Gestapo.
I don't think that the Democrats are supporting terrorists. I know there's a couple that are terrorists, like Ilhan Omar.
I don't know that they're supporting them, but they certainly are not speaking on behalf of the American patriots that are there fighting. It's not G.I. Joe down the street that made this.
They didn't make the decisions.
Right.
Yeah.
They're going to fight. So shut the heck up, support your troops, and that's it. Support your troops, period. And full stop. No more. Okay. And they say, oh, we're at war. Okay, well, and I listened to Rand Paul too. He said, we're at war in the Iraq war and the Vietnam War. Well, actually, sir, somebody I know said Rand Paul knows. I said we haven't had war since World War II, and I was told you're wrong. Rand Paul said, I'm like, am I? Let's look it up. There is no war.
After World War II and the formal declaration.
That's right.
In World War II, there hasn't been an officially declared war.
That's right.
Since, but that doesn't mean we haven't gotten into trouble.
No, we have had conflict. We've had conflicts, 100%. So you can't say that all of the sudden now Orange Man in the White House can't have conflicts when every other president up until now. Now I will say I'm really pissed off. I apologize. That's not nice to say. I'm very upset at them backing off of deporting illegal aliens. They're backing off of that. That's not what I voted for.
Well, it must be our state senator that chimed in, and because she didn't want to.
Did you see?
She didn't want her strawberries to be more expensive if we deport the people.
Yeah, and your toilet might be a little dirtier. Get the heck out of here! What a disgusting thing to say. I'm Hispanic, so I take offense to that. I'm not cleaning anybody's toilet. I'm just not doing it.
Bottom line, look, there's signs of improvement, but
Did you see the Josh Stein made Ramadan a holiday?
I did not. Well, I saw he did the proclamation. I didn't know he made it like.
Yeah. We'll look it up. We'll talk about it Wednesday.
Proclamation about pretty much everything, can't you?
I don't know. I have no idea what a proclamation is.
Proclamation of the big toe. I mean, you can.
Okay, whatever.
Olivia, know anything about that? Making proclamation. Anyway,
she's being quiet because she doesn't agree with us. She's just going to be like, these guys are crazy. I'm sorry I came here.
Well, look, the question isn't, are things better than Biden but it's really more like, are Americans are they feeling relief right now with the economy?
I don't know that I think that the outlook is relief, but I don't know that they're actually feeling it right yet. But it takes time. We did get a little bit of relief when the gas prices were down, but they're back up now. And they'll go back down again. But it's not a short term. It's not things that come fast are not necessarily good. So
wait until the Venezuelan oil starts flowing.
That's right.
Once we get those, because it's not going to be us like going in there and stealing it. It's going to be now that it's stable, companies can go and invest and get it flowing. Same thing with Iran when we get done using all of our toys on them. So let's shift gears for a minute. Let's talk about something that actually impacts people day to day: leadership, workforce culture, and building stronger communities. Today we have Olivia Cook, Executive Marketing Director and Regional Leader for People. With people, I said for people. But
for people.
She's also the local restaurant manager with Bahama Breeze, where she's leading teams in one of the most fast-paced environments out there. She is a military wife and mom, balancing leadership at work and at home. Welcome, Olivia.
It's an honor to be here. Thank you so much.
What's People for People? Tell me.
People for People is a movement, but it's also an organization. And what we do is it's like a chamber of commerce mixed with a social club. And it's a membership program, but it's to start in all different local communities. So I'm starting the one up here in Fayetteville. I'm doing my strategic planning that for all of the states I'm in. I'm doing specific areas, but Fayetteville's definitely first because I'm here and I love this area. I didn't think that I was going to love it as much as I do, but it surprised me because I've lived a few different places as a military wife.
So when I met you before, and I know you were involved with this organization, but I still don't know much about it. I went to your website and I said, well, there's nobody here. And you said, well, we're building it. Is that you building out the website?
I'm not the one fully doing that. No, I'm not the president, and that's okay. The president, her mission, she's actually in Utah.
Okay.
So we've got leaders all over the country. And this started like 10 years ago. And it's now cultivated into what it is now. But we just recently did a brand new relaunch in October. So I was very fortunate. The reason I got the positions I have is because I was on maternity leave while I jumped into this position. And then I got to, just make it work. just make my schedule work. But what we do is we connect people. We have a loneliness crisis here. We lack community. We lack a strong local economy, and that's what we aim to help aid. I used to want to be a mayor in like 20 years. I was like, I want to be the mayor of Charlotte. No, not anymore. No interest. Simply because I think that there are other ways to make change than politics. We are all about unity. So we're not political. We're not religious, although I am a very pronounced Christian. I'm an independent. I do lean towards the conservative side, if you can't tell by the way that I am. But I say all that to say that there are certain local issues that we can solve by just having good people connected together. And that's really what we do here, is I just want to have the best of the best in the organization. So it's for small local businesses. We give them exclusivity, but we've got all these different departments. So we've got our connections department where we connect our businesses and our community members. Then we've got our development department where we put guests on podcasts, we do networking, and we do workshops. So people actually get to build the know, like, trust factor. We've got the impact department where it's personal impact, where we have like life coaches and other people like that come on and help you with little tidbits of just improving your life. We've got the preparedness. So that's where your local tax person comes in and tells you the benefits of tax planning. Then you've also got global impact. That's where we have our nonprofits come in and share. The local nonprofits in the area share what they're doing. We have a completely different events department as well, and we've got a pathways department that talks about, you know, relationships, businesses, and the shares in the program. So that's really for the builders that want to help build the organization. So
okay. So, all right. You mentioned exclusivity for small businesses. Exclusivity for what?
So we only have one real estate agent, one broker, one of the types of restaurants. Like, so it would be one Mexican restaurant, but it must be small business, locally owned. There's enough corporations out there that's helping corporate business stay afloat.
Okay.
What are we doing to really help our small businesses?
So, okay, so I'm the one sandwich maker you have. So I'm the exclusive sandwich maker of People for People. What does that get me?
So we promote you to our community. So not only like BNI, you know, they have exclusivity, but they don't have community. So we have community members that want to support small businesses. So it's getting together those types of people that care about their local economies and wanting to make sure that my HVAC guy isn't going anywhere. You know, that's more so what we're doing.
A question: are we not supporting our local community even by doing franchise restaurants? Because the local community also has people like you that work for that are managers. If we don't support the corporate restaurants also, then we're not supporting our local community.
Oh, we absolutely are. But this is specifically for our local small businesses. I'm not saying that we shouldn't support bigger things, but to really support stronger local economies and make sure that that American dream is really still realistic. And I really believe that starts at a local level.
So you have where you will partner with local businesses to help promote them.
Do you take applications and you pick which one you want?
Yes.
Okay. Is there a fee for the businesses to participate?
It's super cheap.
Okay.
It's super cheap.
Okay.
It's $100 a month.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Like the benefits that they get it's
$100
crazy.
a month?
Yeah.
Okay. So the benefits they get would be
being on the podcast. I have a whole sheet. I'm sorry. I should have brought my sheet with me. But being that exclusive partner. So the community members are ideally to shop with those exclusive partners. That's kind of what the pledge is for the community members, is to be a part of that. And it's our way of doing
so you
a little.
help them with exposure. You
Yes.
help them with getting on podcasts and stuff, or is there marketing support?
Google reviews. So when they come to do workshops, one person's leading a workshop. So all of the meetings, except for the connections meeting, is a 30-minute meeting. And that meeting allows for you to jump on Zoom. It's all virtual because a lot of people are very busy. It's like the time it takes me to go to a chamber event. I live in Cameron. And so I've got to drive 30 minutes and then I've got to be there for an hour to an hour and a half. And I barely might get to meet one person. But the thing is, a lot of people can jump on Zoom a lot easier and it's a lot more realistic for them to do that. But then you're going to see the same types of people in the community and you'll start to hear their stories and really get to connect with them and build that know, like, trust factor. So that's the power of that. And there's so much benefit with having good people together and seeing the positives. You know, when you look at magnets, because right now our world is so divided, it's ridiculous. But if you have a magnet, you've got the polar sides, but the attracted sides really connect. And that's what we do. We focus on where our commonalities and the differences can go away. But right now, how the media portrays us and everything, it's I'm this way, we can't talk, but y'all could actually agree on a lot.
That's all the media. That's not real people.
I know, which I agree. And a lot of real people want that type of community. They want a place that they can actually sit and talk to people and adulthood. It's so hard making friends.
And you think Zoom, I'm going to make a friend on Zoom?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
See, I'm tired of the Zoom and the internet things. I'm like, we're having District 7 convention over Zoom.
Really?
I want to go see these people.
Really?
I want to touch people and be like, hey, what's the best part of your week so far? I mean, what are you doing? What's going on? What are you working on?
Well, I think that she has her target audience.
Yeah.
And you ain't it.
And very inexpensive, not cheap. $100 a month. Inexpensive, affordable.
So, okay, so how many of those Zoom sessions do you guys host a week? Like, is there just multitudes of?
It's a multitude. There's a lot. We go on a 4-week cycle, and then we have holiday weeks. So we've got a bunch of different meetings. Like on week 1 is just connection. So that's one meeting. And then we've got
What do you mean just connection?
our connections meeting, which is an hour long. So we do 10 of those a year. And that's where the community members and the exclusive businesses can come on and speak. Now, the exclusive businesses, there's about 4 that get to speak on the connections meeting. So they and we also have other ones that can offer prizes or whatever. So like those that don't necessarily want to be in attendance, like they can still get exposure and not be on the meeting.
Okay.
And then we've got our week 2, week 3, and week 4, which are development meetings, impact meetings, and our pathways meeting is on weeks 2, 3, and 4.
What does that mean?
So the development department hosts our networking, and that's for businesses. The development department is all for businesses. So it's networking. And then the week 3 is workshops. And that's where we would have an exclusive business come on and lead a workshop. And then we do the podcast on week 4. And that's where people really we have a focus for everything. We've actually got a lot of handbooks. It's actually a very, very built out. The impact department, the week 2 is the personal impact. Week 3 is the preparedness, and week 4 is the global. So global, the nonprofits, preparedness is, like I was talking about the tax person coming in, or even the fire department,
Okay. So how many meetings have you been hosting for this area? Or is it just like national?
Right now we're in our unified meetings. I get to just be over the development department right now. Thank God.
Okay.
That, and I lead a lot of team meetings because being the executive marketing director, I've got a team under me for that. And I also have a team under me for the Southeast region. So I do 2 different meetings for them throughout the week. And then we've got our leadership meetings. I've got my executive meeting. I've got a bunch of meetings.
Okay. So sounds to me more, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but this is more like a virtual chamber of commerce.
Similar. Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to see how this fits in my world.
Yeah.
Okay. So virtual chamber of commerce.
Do you want to be a virtual sandwich maker?
I'd love to. If I could phone that in, I would.
We do quarterly events in person. And it's not to say that you can't meet up with people in person either. You definitely can. It's just to make it a lot more convenient for people to just be able to get on and do something more consistently. And of course, the community members, they get to choose what they can do.
And you're in development right now. So are you developing more clients, like local businesses, or are you trying to develop people, like individual people that join you?
So development, that one's the one that has the networking. It's for business members. So the networking, the podcast, and the workshops is what the development department does. So right now, my leaders are, I'm refining what they're doing and getting that where it needs to be.
Okay.
Honestly.
Okay. So, military wife, how long have you been in the military yourself?
No.
No?
No.
No? So how long have you
10 years.
been in the military involuntarily?
10 years.
10 years. Okay. So how many different postings have y'all had?
This is our third duty station.
Third move. Okay. All right. Wow, that's tough. So
And you said you have two boys.
Yeah.
How old are they?
A 3-year-old and a 9-month-old.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
Thank you.
3 and 9-month-old. Wow. Okay. So managing employees at the restaurant is kind of like being at home.
No,
they're much more difficult at the restaurant.
No, I genuinely, I love the team that I have at the restaurant. It's a very unique opportunity.
Are you the general manager there?
No, I'm just, I do service and events. But how Darden runs the restaurants, you have to be able to run the restaurant.
Right.
There's plenty of times I'm there by myself. The only manager there, you know? So
There's 4 managers.
we have 5.
Okay.
So our GM and then the 4 other managers. But yeah, I mean, I love our team. We've got like 80 team members, and I mean, we're very close. It's the community we've created there is unlike any other one any restaurant I've worked in. And I've worked in the restaurant industry for 14 years in 6 different states. And just, I mean, are we perfect? Absolutely not. But we hold our teams to a high standard, and we have honest conversations about mental health, about, you know, just life. We had a team member, her husband committed suicide, and 3 of the managers, including myself, were at the funeral. We genuinely provide like real, genuine support to our team. It's unlike, and I really realize that a lot of places don't do that. A lot of places are not people focused. I've got so many regulars. And when I say I'm a people person, I really genuinely take the time to get to know my people. And because we're what matters. You know, we've got AI coming out, and it's a tool. I'm not against AI. It's absolutely a tool. But we have to start treating other people better as a society. And if we want to see that change happen, we have to be the change.
Understood. I believe you with that. AI is not going to replace us being there for a team member that's suffered a loss, or it's not going to replace making sandwiches anytime soon either, unless Elon gets those robots he's promised going. Oh, bless you.
They don't do well with different requests. So they're good with like repetitive items. So if it was a standard sandwich, but if you wanted just a little bit less, it would take a little bit more time, because I really looked more into this, like about, you know, what jobs are AI free. You know, I got some time, but there's also things that you wouldn't want a robot to do. I don't want a robot to do my makeup ever. I don't want a robot to do my pictures at a wedding or a major like lifetime event, because they're not going to capture the real emotion, the moments. I don't want AI to save me from a building, because how are you going to prioritize me over the cat or the dog or anything like that? How are you going to make those split-second decisions?
Right. Yeah, AI takes a minute to catch up and do that. So you've been in restaurant business for 14 years, and then you found People for People. And so how do your managers think about you being involved with this big, huge organization out to the side? Do they know about it, or is it something you've kind of involved them with?
I'm a very transparent person.
I'm not like
so, yeah.
Like how do they feel about you having multiple hats?
They know how I am.
They just know how you are.
Yeah. Okay. They know that they know who I am too. I'm a person that wants to make the world a better place. And in doing that in an avenue of that, like, they're very supportive. They work. I'm so thankful. Both of my, like, I had a different GM and I have a new GM, but he opened the restaurant with us too. So he just got promoted, and they're very respectful of my schedule. They give, I have a set schedule, and that's very rare in the restaurant industry. So I'm very blessed.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I wouldn't mind giving more set schedules if the ones that have set schedules show up.
Right. It's actually easier to make a set schedule if you have to. Here's what I have open. Can you fill these slots? If not, nope. That would be nice. Yeah.
Well, and this doesn't have anything to do with People for People. This is more about your restaurant background. But what's a trait that you want your leaders to have when you have them at the restaurant?
A lot. There's a lot of traits, but really a willingness to learn. Having a learner's mindset is super important, but personality too. We spend a lot of time when we're interviewing, because the thing is, I have a lot of great team members because we believe in hiring properly. There's some great people here, but you got to hire right, and you have to give honest, clear direction. I even tell my 3-year-old, he was crying and whining. I said, I can't hear you when you're crying. I can't hear you when you're whining. I need you to speak.
Use your words.
Direct, honest communication.
Right. Okay, so even, it's even worse for infants or toddlers, I guess.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's okay.
Okay.
You just beat them every day, whether they need it or not.
Well, that's maybe
Never.
Well, Olivia Cook, I really appreciate you coming in and bringing some real world perspective to the show. End of the day, policy is one thing, but what's happening in the workplace and the communities, that's where people actually live, and that's where you work. So I do appreciate you being here this evening. So what do we got coming up this week?
Kurt Debier is
Kurt
here.
Debier on Wednesday.
On Wednesday,
2 p.m. Yeah, we sure do.
I like
So,
Kurt.
well, that'll do it.
Am I allowed to say that?
What'd you say?
Am I allowed to say that I like Kurt?
No,
Is that
you
violation
like
of some
no,
kind of
Kirk is a good guest. He's a good guy. So that'll do it for this episode of the Carolina Cabinet. Thank you to our cabinet members and our guests, and all of you who continue to support this show. We say it proudly: the Carolina Cabinet is a voice for conservatives and still the smartest hour of radio. Whether you hear us on a speaker, a phone, or a screen, follow us, share us, and stay with us at thecarolinacabinet.com. And until next time, with the Carolina Cabinet.